Getting schooled right now on Fox 35. It has been a year since Lake Highland Preparatory School made national news with its drug policy.
Leaders of the Orlando private school decided to test all students in 7th through 12th grades. Now, failing 2 drug tests meant getting kicked out. I sat down with the school's president to see how the first year played out. Lake Highland Prep in Orlando prides itself on setting the standard, from the high-tech smart boards and science rooms to its state-of-the-art television studios. President Warren Hudson,
it's the latest, the greatest, the most up-to-date.
a former naval commander, is used to navigating rough territory. He says they implemented their drug policy not because they have a drug problem, but because they want to keep it that way.
I think that young people being young people, they're going to take risks, they're going to experiment, and we knew that. We've done something about it.
The policy stems from a 2012 survey.
One of the things they asked about was use of drugs, and we had students who admitted to using drugs in the last 30 days.
So during the 2013-2014 school year, 7th through 12th graders had to donate a hair at the beginning of the year for testing by a private company. 6 random tests were also conducted. 1 failed test, and the student must be retested within 100 days. Fail a second time, and you're thrown out of the school. The school tests for 18 different drugs.
Of course, they're looking for some horrible ones like heroin, cocaine, barbiturates.
But it also picked up on some prescribed ones.
We had some that came back with oxycodone or hydrocodone or whatever those pain-killing drugs are, and the families brought us the valid prescription, and that was the end of the story.
As for the results, 1,200 students were tested last year. During that time, Lake Highland sent 1,600 samples to the lab. 9 students tested positive. 6 tested negative when they were retested. 1 must be retested at the beginning of this school year. The 2 who failed?
Those students are no longer at our school. We asked them to withdraw.
Hudson says some parents have even asked him to do their dirty work.
I had parents say, "My son is acting weird. Would you test him?"
All of those tests came back negative. Hudson says the policy doesn't seem to have negatively affected interest, though.
I would say this has been a very much of a plus in terms of enrollment.
Parents' reactions haven't all been positive.
We've had some parents who I would say maybe are in the libertarian way of thinking, that maybe we're being intrusive.
But Lake Highland is a private school that can make its own rules. Ones Hudson hopes will help his students.
We'll continue to make sure that we help our children grow in wisdom and stature in God's favor at Lake Highland.
Now, 2 families did withdraw their students before school started last year. We're told it's because they knew their child had problems with drugs. Now, a donor paid for last year's test. The president of Lake Highland Prep says that same donor will do it again this year.